Good morning and a very warm welcome to the listing of Nagarro SE this morning on Frankfurt Stock Exchange. You will be observing the fixing of the first price around 9:15. This is an IPO ceremony in Frankfurt on the major stock exchange on the old traditional trading floor. Good morning and a very warm welcome to the listing of Nagarro SE. But besides the known, is of course for us a very unusual situation. This is our first half virtual IPO ceremony this morning, and it's a little queasy, but still we're really excited to have Nagarro here and to be able to share with you the fixing of the first price. My name is Edda, I'm from Börse Frankfurt, and I will share with you the next half hour, 40 minutes, how long it might take until the shares are traded. Frankfurt is one of the oldest exchanges in the world. It exists since 1585. Trading of shares started exactly 200 years ago. And this floor has been a trading hall since the end of the 19th century. But of course, the elements nowadays are very modern, and it's digital, and trading, of course, runs via IT systems. But nevertheless, usually you do have people here sitting and observing the first price fixing. But let's start with Nagarro. We are very proud to host here today the spin-off. It's not an IPO, but we call it IPO ceremony. It's a spin-off from Allgeier, a German IT company. Allgeier is listed in General Standard, but Nagarro will be part of Prime Standard in a few minutes. Prime Standard is our highest regulated segment, our highest regulated market. It fulfills, companies listed in Prime Standard fulfill the highest transparency requirements before getting listed and, of course, during the listing, just to inform investors. A spin-off means that every shareholder of Allgeier got one share of Nagarro. Though today, this morning, Allgeier will be traded with the X, with a reduction of the price. It will start into trading a lot lower than yesterday. And of course, around 9:15, you will know the share price of Nagarro shares. I will explain a little bit more about the procedure, but first about Nagarro. Founded in 1999 by Manas Fuloria and Vikram Segal, and became part of Allgeier in 2011. It is we would say, to get it together, digital engineering company with a full service portfolio, offering digital products, engineering, digital commerce, testing, offsite testing, customer experience processes, etc. Allgeier is a more traditional IT company, offering software, hardware, cloud services. And the reason for the spin-off is that with being an own traded company, Nagarro has the chance to be part of a different peer group with for more digital, more similar services, higher valuation on exchanges, more growth expectations, because on exchanges there's always the future traded, the expectations of investors, the expectations of future growth and perspectives. And of course, the second reason for a spin-off is that the company can raise capital by itself. So from today on, Nagarro and Allgeier will go two separate ways regarding their exchange listing, their capitalization. It will be traded on Xetra. Xetra is the largest trading platform for German shares in Germany, listed and of course for German blue chips. It has around 15 billion turnover daily. very actively at the moment, especially. It's has a full electronic trading model, and if you want to be part of Prime Standard, you need a listing in Xetra. But nevertheless, Nagarro will be also traded on Frankfurt floor, and you see here on the right side of the stage, of our IPO stage, that Sehat Gündogan, he's a specialist from Baader Bank. Baader Bank is one of 9 banks taking care of the order books of securities here on Frankfurt floor. He will be, together with the market supervision, fix the first price around 9:15. Pre-trading on Xetra starts at 9, but the regulations require that you have at least 15 minutes time until the first price can be fixed. That's the IPO regulations. It doesn't matter if it's a spin-off or if it's really an initial public offering. That's what IPO stands for. Welcome to everybody here. We are observing our first virtual IPO ceremony. Reason is the listing of Nagarro, a spin-off from Allgeier, will go public in a few minutes here on Frankfurt Stock Exchange and will be traded on Frankfurt floor and on Xetra, and will be listed in Prime Standard. And welcome to all our observers, and it's really, I'm happy to see that's so much activity in our chat. You can, if you're somewhere else, watching the ceremony this morning, you can see the chat on YouTube, Börse Frankfurt channel. Issue price 1:1 says that every Allgeier shareholder got one Nagarro share, or will get one Nagarro share, or got yesterday. There was the spin-off. That's why Allgeier this morning is traded with an X price. And trading in Frankfurt started at 8 o'clock, so we have a early, before Xetra starts, where the main liquidity, the most turnover, the reference market with the most turnover for the shares in Prime Standard, most of them. But we have a reference from the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, from the floor trading, and this morning Allgeier was at 25.50, and it closed yesterday at 87.60 euros per share. That's an X price. That's including the capital measurement. Welcome everybody that just stepped in. You're observing the IPO ceremony. That's how we call it, but it is a listing from Nagarro. You will have a few words from our executive manager, Cord Gebhardt. He's one of the few people here on the floor today. Then you will have a virtual step-in of the Nagarro. Stay tuned, it's exciting. Very new for us. And then around 9:15 you will have the first price. There are around 1.6 million securities traded here. That sounds incredibly large, but it's the majority are certificates and warrants. We have around 10,000 companies, of which about 1,000 are German companies that have their home market here, or their main market, where the reference price is fixed. Reference price refers to that all other platforms, markets, whatever, market maker models, whatever, refer to one major market to make their prices. That's the concept of reference market. And this morning, Nagarro will step in and be listed on Xetra and Frankfurt floor, traded here, with the exchange being their future reference market. Everybody else in the world is getting the orientation for their own price offerings. few words about Prime Standard, which is our highest, or our segment with the highest regulation by EU standards. It has 302 companies listed in Prime Standard at the moment, and about a tenth of them, 11%, are in the same sector as Nagarro in IT services. And the strongest industry normally in Prime Standard, it's industrial, financial services, and software. And it's important to be in Prime Standard if you want to address international investors. And of course Xetra, and you have to be traded on Xetra to be part of Prime Standard, which is also the platform for international investors. We have about 70 of the participants, which refer to the banks, not the persons, but about 70 of the participants on Xetra are in Germany, and 86 are in other countries. So it is the platform to be listed if you want to address international investors as well as international traders. And you also have to fulfill your transparency requirements after the listing by reporting in English, by doing ad hocs, doing news, mandatory news in English as well. You're observing here Serhat Gündogan. He's the specialist taking care of the order book. You have an order book that you really imagine it used to be a book, that's why it's called now order book, fully electronic, of course. And you have there the bits, that's the SPY offerings from market participants like yourself. If you enter an order via an online broker, a discount broker, it just goes into the order book. And you have on the left side, you have the buying of limits, the price ideas on the buying side, and on the right side you have the price ideas on the selling side. And if they fit together in the middle, it matches. And just imagine, I think that's the best picture the best image to understand the process is to imagine a book where you have all orders by investors, by traders written in, and one on up sorted by price on the left side and the other sorted by price on the right side. The difference between Xetra and the Frankfurt floor is the specialist on Frankfurt floor. If the liquidity in a share, in a security is not as high, or if it has a reference market where the price direction is included into the pricing here, then you need somebody observing the price fixing. It's of course the system, the IT system, the Xetra is the technology behind Frankfurt floor as well. The IT system fixes the price, does all, but you have a human component in it. And that's, in this case, it's Serhat Gündogan from Baader Bank, one of the 9 Wertpapierhandelsbanken, as we call them in German, banks that take care of the securities here on the floor. Welcome everybody who stepped in later. You're observing here the listing process, the listing ceremony of Nagarro, a spin-off from Allgeier, going public this morning, being listed, going to be listed on Xetra and Frankfurt floor with the first price around 9:15. So it's at least 6 more minutes to wait, as you see on the big DAX chart. This is the first time we really use our new wall, as you see in blue behind Serhat on the IPO stage. We reconstructed the outer part of the exchange. It's a brand new. Okay, that is Dr. Kurt Gebhardt.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the entire management board, good morning from the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. I wish I could welcome you all here on the trading floor of the exchange in person today, but these special times require special solutions. Therefore, I do welcome you today to the virtual listing event of Nagarro SE. Due to sustained restrictions imposed by COVID-19, the company cannot be present, but instead is taking part with a video message. For all of you participating the virtual way, these messages will be shown on the LED wall behind me. So let's start with Mr. Manas Fuloria, the co-founder of Nagarro SE. He will join us with a digital greeting.
Ladies and gentlemen, meine Damen und Herren, this is a great moment today as Nagarro lists on the Deutsche Börse. I would like to thank today, from the bottom of my heart, all of our wonderful clients who have trusted us and stood by us throughout this journey. And I would like to congratulate each and every Nagarian whose skills and commitment have got us here. This listing ceremony is an unusual one. It is the first time at this exchange that a listing ceremony is being performed in a purely virtual and digital manner with participants from around the world. But this is also emblematic of the times we live in, times that are digital, times that are fast changing, times that are global. And this may be new for some, but this is Nagarro's DNA. This is the company that we are. And as you will see in the next few minutes, even the traditional ringing of the bell today will be reinterpreted in a way that's totally digital, agile, entrepreneurial, and global. And as we turn to the next chapter of Nagarro's exciting journey, we promise to stay committed to our mission of making distance irrelevant between intelligent people and to our caring core values. We hope to build from these fine principles one of the world's leading IT services organizations, and along the way to show to the world a new method of organizing companies and running business. Thank you. Dankeschön.
So thank you very much, Mr. Fuloria, for your words. Dear Nagarro team, today we'll start a new chapter in your company's history. After a long and very intensive period of preparation, the big day of your listing has finally arrived. It's a great pleasure for us, Deutsche Börse, and an important signal for our capital market to welcome another future-oriented tech company here in Frankfurt. As a technology leader in digital product engineering, the brand Nagarro, which has a very modern culture, we heard it right now, characterized by flat hierarchies, a shared passion for technology, and intercultural openness, will gain significantly more attention and visibility with the listing. This not only applies to the capital market, but also to the awareness of your customers, and above all, the acquisition of new team fellows. We are convinced that your listing on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange will support Nagarro's goal to become one of the world's leading IT service companies, and we are delighted to be part of this important milestone, supporting you in your attractiveness and your activities on the capital market. Listed in Frankfurt stands for quality, liquidity, and internationality. Having chosen a listing in our prime standard, you will be joining the segment with the highest transparency requirements in our regulated market. Our team is very, very happy that from today on, your shares will be a valuable addition to our stock list. Before we come to the second video message of the Nagarro team from all over the world, we look forward to the first prize determination. Ladies and gentlemen, the countdown for the first prize of Nagarro SE is running. I wish you and your company a successful start and, of course, a very positive long-term development of your shares. Thank you very much.
That was the address from Kurt Gebhardt, one of our executive managers of Frankfurt Stock Exchange, and we are about to get the first prize. On the right side, you see Serhat Gündogan from Baader Bank. He's a specialist for floor trading, and there will be after 9:15. Depending on how many orders are in the book, how close the ideas, the limits are together, that depends a little. But after 9:15, it would be possible to close the order book, to go into an auction. Normally you have an open order book on Xetra. The floor order book is always closed, and the specialists just publish the best bid-ask limits, the offerings for selling and buying by others or by themselves, because they are market makers, to the public. But Xetra order book is always open if it's not in an auction. In an auction you only publish the price indication, and then you will have an auction very similar actually to an eBay auction. Everything is put together and you will have the price where the most turnover can be made. That's the system behind it. So for everybody who's not so firm, not so much into trading, just imagine it's just an auction like a normal auction. And as soon as you have a price, he will call out, Serhat will call out the price here, and then the trading will start, continuous trading on Xetra and on Frankfurt floor. And then, of course, why this is so exciting for everybody, for us, for the company, of course, because at that moment the market is pricing it. They get an idea how much the market is willing to pay or wants to get for the shares. First trading days are always very volatile, so if you're a long-term investor, it might be better not just to be active on the first trading day, just to sit back and wait a little until everything settles. So in our observation, in the first minutes after first price fixing, it's not a real indication about where the market goes to. But let's wait and see. This is very exciting for us as well. Of course, a little queasy with so little people here on floor. Welcome everybody who just stepped in. You are getting the most exciting moments of the ceremony here this morning of the listing of Nagarro SE on Frankfurt floor and Xetra, a spin-off from Allgeier, a German IT company.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. First prize for Nagarro SE, 69 euros. Congratulations to the listing in Frankfurt.
Great, 69 euros is the first prize here. Congratulations to Nagarro.
When Nagarro's story began over 20 years ago, who would have thought that we would one day work for some of the world's leading companies? Nagarro's engineering today powers the digital products and solutions of our wonderful clients in over 48 countries.
We've managed to scale without becoming rigid or hierarchical or traditional. Today, Nagarro remains agile, entrepreneurial, and with a startup mindset.
We've built a seamlessly global company with offices in 25 countries, 16 different nationalities in senior leadership, and no single headquarter. At Nagarro, distributed teams work closely together to deliver magic for our customers.
Who would have thought that the world's leading management consulting firms would one day be recommending Nagarro to their clients? Engineering excellence and agility by design is what these firms need for their clients to succeed.
Today we are over 8,400 Nagarrians across the world, united by just one single culture. Our mission is to bring the world closer together, to make distance irrelevant between intelligent people.
So who would thought that the company we were building would one day list at the Frankfurt Stock Exchange? Nagarro is all set to become one of the leading IT services companies domiciled in Germany.
Today we celebrate all these achievements, but even more, we look forward in anticipation to this next chapter in Nagarro's story. Still caring, still geeky, still agile, entrepreneurial, and global.
Congrats to Nagarro. It's now part of Prime Standard. First prize was 69 euros. Thank you all out there for observing our first virtual listing ceremony here on Frankfurt floor. And congrats again to Nagarro, and we wish them, we Frankfurt Stock Exchange, wish the company a great future. And remember, first trading day, first trading hours especially, are always very volatile. And we thank you for taking part of the ceremony, and all the best.